Wonder Girl issue 3, Joelle Jones, both writing and on art.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously it's been a little while since issue 2. It took me a second to remember what the hell was happening. Because I'd forgotten about the arrow at the end of last issue where, she was going to fall in love and all the rest of it. But yeah, so she just came down with that plane that had a bit of an emergency landing, shall we say. And she's with, is it Zhao?
Zhao.
Zhao, the name I can never remember. And they have a kissing moment, and then Eros shows up again with the arrow. And there's a bit of it gets into some mythology stuff here where she runs out into the jungle and there's all these big beings. Not that I'm complaining too much because the art in some of these is great. Like the crocodile looking one. It looks great.
Well, and we see her friend from the future state stuff too. So
oh yeah, but that's actually later when we cut back to them.
Okay.
I'm not seeing her yet. But
Gotcha.
there's like a big sort of Sasquatch looking one with a light bulb as a head. Like there's a whole bunch of things. But all that's really good in the art, and then we cut back to Cassie, who ends up teaming up with Artemis over the course of this issue, as they're fighting the other Amazons, looking for Yara. And there's kind of an uneasy alliance that's formed here where Cassie's like, hey, we're both looking for the same person. Maybe we should pull our resources, kind of thing.
You're Artemis. He's like, I don't want to talk about it. I love their dynamic here. She's like, you seemingly are good enough to be on your own. Let's team up and find this because it is in both of our best interests.
Yeah, I don't think I knew before this book started that Cassie was going to be a supporting character, but I've been very pleasantly surprised with her inclusion so far, I think. Yep. But yeah, so you come back to Yara. She's pulled out her weapon. Because I've also forgotten the name of it, as she has as well, because it's a joke.
Yeah.
Here.
It's like a bola lasso, but I forget the name of it exactly, but it's her lasso. Yeah.
I love the look in the face of the wolf creature. The grr looking kind of surprised when he's under attack. But obviously Zhao's completely confused by everything that's happening, doesn't know what's going on. But that's when Eros shows up again and actually says, I never miss, and then just stabs her with the arrow by hand. And this makes her fall for him and stare into his eyes. And the art gets really cool here because like the faces kind of like become almost like complete shadows, almost like you're playing the game Limbo. I don't know if anyone's played the video game Limbo. It kind of looks like that almost for a split second, for a panel or two. And then Zhao's like, "What's going on? Why are you two being so pally right now?" And she's like, "I'll come back for you, I promise." It's actually this is when the friend from Future State shows up, the little character,
Kaipora.
Who was giving her like advice and kind of being this cheeky, character on her shoulder almost, telling her what to do. Saying you must stay, this is your destiny. And then the alligator creature talks. Like I don't know if Connor would have insight into any of this mythology stuff. There's a lot of weird stuff going on here. But basically she does agree to go with Eros. Because she's been pulled in 3 directions. Zhao's saying come back to the living world. These creatures are saying, come into the mystical world of the jungle, but Eros is saying, no, I've got something to show you. Come with me. And she even cries a little bit as she makes the choice. She goes with Eros, promises that she'll be back, and we do cut back to Cassie and Artemis at this point, who fight some more Amazons. It may even be the same Amazons at this point.
Yeah, they're the Amazonian Amazons.
The Amazonian Amazons, yes.
Yeah.
How could I forget that? So that's not confusing at all. But then we go to where Eros is taking Yara, which is Olympus. And the end of the issue is that he's going to introduce her to Hera. So we don't know what their motivations are as of yet. I think the key thing for me in this issue is that I don't necessarily understand all the mythology stuff. I will say though, it was a very easy read and the art was very, very pretty. And I'm still into the core important thing, which is the characters. Specifically, Yara herself and Cassie are kind of the anchors right now, where I'm enjoying their journey, I'm enjoying their story, I do think that by the end of this arc, it has to be a bit more solidified, where I have to understand what the goals are of the various parties involved of trying to get her. But at least right now, it is kind of this mystery of like, okay, why does everyone think she's so important? Maybe next issue is the time. Hera herself might be the one to tell her, hey, this is why you're a big deal, and this is why everyone's coming after you, and this is why these different forces want to lure you to their side or just kill you to stop you from doing whatever you're going to do. That's kind of where we need to be going soon. But
yeah, just because I want to know. So we know that Hera always, like, she's an enemy of the Amazons, right? Like, she's never gotten along with Diana, even before Diana was Zeus's actual daughter. So it's just, I wonder what the goal is here, because she wants Yara to be her champion, right? Like, she has great plans for her, because that's her new benefactress. And I think it's interesting too that Hera sent Eros and not Hermes, right? Because Hermes is traditionally the messenger of the gods. But so she sent, the god of love to come and yet. So yeah, I don't know what the plan is 3 issues in, but I'm here for whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed the issue. It's kind of one of these things where I think on its own, because we've waited so long for it, because there was such a big gap between issue 2 and 3, is that it was hard to get back into it a little bit at the start, because it was like, oh, what the hell even happened last issue? But it did all come back like very quickly. Like once I saw the plane, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, and that's right, and the arrow, and okay. I'm getting all the gist of it again. But yeah, it took a little bit of a minute. But I will say, like, so far, the one thing I'll say about these issues of Wonder Girl is that they have been so easy to read. They're so nice to look at. The dialogue is never overbearing. It's not too wordy. It feels just right. And and Yara, and by extension Cassie as well, are both so likable that it's very hard to look at this book before I read it and think anything other than, oh, this will be a nice easy time. This will be a pleasant experience, because
it's almost too breezy.
I mean, you could argue that.
I get to the end and I feel like there should be more, even though all the pages are full. Like, there's nothing, I'm not getting ripped off, but I just like the way as quick as it moves, and for the delays that it's had, which I'll wait for the delays. That's fine.
Oh, for sure.
I just want more now at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, issue 1's, but the Future State issue is still my favorite issue of any like this Yara stuff yet. Issue 2 was probably the weakest issue of the 3. Not that I'm going to rank every issue of this as it comes out, but I'm just in the context of my own head, like I'm just thinking about where I feel about this as an individual issue, and it is good. But even saying it that way sounds like a negative. I don't mean it to. No. Because it is actually very good. It's just like, no, we need to sort of solidify like where we're going, and I guess do you know what this has? It has the pacing of something that's going to read wonderfully in trade. Like,
yep, 100%.
When you can read the first 6 issues of this back to back, this is going to be such an easy, quick 6-issue read, and it will probably feel great when you read it that way. As a monthly book, it's a little, I don't want to say decompressed per se, because I wouldn't say that, or maybe a little bit, but it feels like something it's paced, leading a little bit more towards its trade than individual issues, but still very, very, very good. So what are you giving Wonder Girl issue 3?
8.5.
I'll just go with a solid 8. I'll go with a solid 8 for me.